Oh man, so another volatile weekend. We've got Fantom up almost 3%, Bitcoin up 0.5% after crazy manipulation. I'm going to share with you an update on my trade, what's going on with this trade setup, because what we're focused on right now is trying to catch this move on Bitcoin. This is the move we do not want to miss if we're going to run up powerfully between 24 and about that 29 and 30 level. This is the entry we want to capture, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe as always. If you want to buy any crypto, you can do so using BYBIT or BitGet. Links in the description. Those are affiliate links which support the channel, but they also give you amazing bonuses which allow you to trade your first few trades for free. So definitely get yourself set up on those bonuses and you can practice trading for free with those. Now, Bitcoin here, as you can see, we made a video yesterday where I explained we were getting the breakthrough 24,000. It was right in this bit here, and you can see what I said in the video. I'm going to play that clip to you right now. I do have one warning for you, and that is we are on weekend volume right now, okay? So please, I am normally very cautious opening up long trades on weekend volume. So if you wanted to do this a little bit more cautiously, you would come across to the daily chart and you'd want to wait for this daily candle to close above, which is what we're trying to get here, okay? So textbook definition is you want to enter this breakout when you get the technical close. So if we get this daily candle close, that's great, because if you remember the previous day here, we were above 24k, but look how the bears closed it back down again. You see that? So if you took your trade prematurely, you get things like this candle, which is what we called out perfectly, and this candle. Now the difference is we've just had this candle and then we followed it with the green. So this is showing that the bears weren't able to do this, which it did last time. Because remember, we got excited, we thought we were going to break out, we got rejected, and then we got sent back down. This time we got excited, we got rejected, but today's has finally broken through. So if you were following this from a textbook, you'd wait for this to close green and you wait for tomorrow's candle to open up green, and then you put in your massive long position. And as you can see, what I was explaining there was, yes, we did get the breakout. Yes, I put in a tiny position just out of FOMO. I'm human too. I love to trade like that too. You guys have probably seen that before, that whenever I see a long trade, sometimes I just put in like a tenth of what I would have put in, sometimes even less, guys. It's crazy. Just to kind of get my feet wet. And it really doesn't mean anything. It's a tight stop loss. It's just for me to get into the position. It keeps me awake. It keeps me looking at the charts. It means my stop losses and orders are all set up. And then I'm getting ready for this big move. But what I made very, very clear was that we want to wait for the clear daily breakout. Let me switch across to the daily just to make this very, very clear on what the textbook definition is. You want to wait for a clean daily breakout. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here so we can concentrate. Right, so you want to wait for this clean daily breakout. Now you could see intraday the candle was all the way up here, and a lot of people were FOMOing in heavily, and this is why it's really important you do not jump into your position with both feet. If you don't know how deep the water is, do you just jump into the deep end? No, you dabble your toes into the shallow bit and you kind of walk your way into the position, and that's how I load into my positions. So I've got that tenth, it's actually a little bit less than a tenth of what I would have put in of my position on this type of long, and it's sitting there, and I'll just leave it there to play around with this long-term trend. It's not going to make me rich or poor. It's a tiny bit of money which I just want to play just to get a feel of the market. And I knew that this would have been a fake out, one, because of the weekend volume, which I made very clear to you, but two, because it happened here. Okay, you saw how we downtrended after we got rejected from 24, and that is what I'm cognizant of now. 2 days in a row getting faked out. That is insane. And the previous one was obviously a Friday. This is a Saturday, and now we've got a Sunday, which is very, very interesting. So we need to wait for Monday, and we want to see a clean break through this with another confirmation candle. The next day should open up green as well, okay? So it should be like breakthrough with volume, and the next day should open up green like this, and that is your perfect textbook entry, okay? Now, let's switch over to the weekly, because what I do want to show you guys is we are getting our second weekly candle in a row, which is really, really good, okay? So at least we've got the positive of that. The last 4 weeks, 3 of them have been nice and green and decent body sizes, right? Decent green candles. The volume's been okay as well. So this is a good recovery for Bitcoin. And obviously we're seeing that the macro economy is starting to feel a little bit more confident, because they feel like Jerome Powell and the Fed have now, telegraphed their moves. He's reached the point of interest rates and tightening that he wants to do, and he's almost saying, look, I'm going to be done by the end of this year, and maybe we'll start cutting interest rates by the back end of 2023, right? So that's what the market is starting to price in. You saw fear and greed notch up to 42 yesterday, 39 today. Again, to put that into a little bit of perspective for you guys, this is where we're at now. Let's pop that there above my head. We are really recovering really fast. I mean, this is insane. We were down here 6s and 7s, and it felt like a long time that we were down here for months, and now it's quickly rocketed up in a matter of days. And that's how quickly the FOMO comes back into the market. So you've got to be very, very careful with that. Also, just to show you it from this point of view, our long-term downward trend, we have got the breakout. We have got the confirmation candle here on the weekly time frame. So this is a good sign. If you look at it from the daily sign, it looks like it's slowly trying to keep up its uptrend on the breakout. Whoops, just about there. It's trying to keep its, let me just move that across for you guys. It's trying to keep the momentum on the breakout. It's not the most powerful breakouts, right? I mean, you want a nice, strong breakout through here, but it's making progress. And more importantly, it's creating higher highs and higher lows. And this is the bit I want to focus on. Let me just get zoomed back into here. What's important with what's just happened, I know it was weekend volume. I know it was a fake out, but we have to look at what's actually happened. And what's actually happened is over the weekend, so we've got our lows here, and we've created these higher lows, which is really good for an upward trend. And you partner those with higher highs. We've got the higher high, and then we've got this high. So what happened yesterday is even though we wicked down it's not a great entry for a trade, you have indeed got your higher high. So this is good. It's confirmed the uptrend. And now what that means is Bitcoin can come all the way down here if it wants to. It can come all the way down to 22,000 over the next couple of days and still maintain a higher low and then go post another higher high. You see what I mean? So it's given itself a lot of breathing room, whereas if it didn't do that and it just started curling over early, that would have been a worrying sign to the downside because it would have showed that the bulls had lost some steam. So that's a good sign here that we're keeping our higher highs, we're keeping our higher lows, and that's really good. If you look at our EMA ribbon as well, this is why it's also important. We are holding our EMA for the time being as support. I know this is weekend volume, but still, we're holding above our EMA, which is really, really good. Now we just need a bit of impetus, maybe some positive news to push us through here to the upside. Speaking of which, we have a big week here in the markets. We've got on Tuesday, we get Fed chair, one of the Fed officials, Evans, speaking. But more importantly, we get Bullard later in the day. He is a hawk, okay? Now, why is it important to listen to Fed officials? Well, we need to listen to see if they affirm what Jerome Powell was saying. Jerome Powell came out and he was very dovish. And some people are saying this was politicized. A lot of maybe Joe Biden put some pressure on him to be really, you know, friendly and dovish to keep the markets buoyant ahead of the midterms. And it's going to be important to see what do the other Fed officials come out and say. If they give clues around maybe we're going to see 50 basis point hike next meeting, the markets will be buoyant again and they will like that. If they come out and say nope, 75 could still be on the table, or we need to be aggressive, and they say more hawkish things, the markets could take a tanking on those days as well. So lots to pay attention to. You also get the ISM manufacturing index, an important figure to look at later in the week. You then get Thursday another Fed chairman, Mester, who we'll listen to as well, and then on Friday the non-farm payrolls. Not to forget that we also get some really important company earnings this week. Not as important as last week. Last week was the most important week of the year, and the market did really well last week, but you still do have a few important ones. You got Pinterest this week, Uber, BP, PayPal, AMD, Airbnb, Starbucks, Moderna, Robinhood, just to name a few of the big companies announcing earnings this week. Also got Twilio, AMC, DraftKings, and various others as well. So naturally this will help move whether the market's risk on or risk off, and therefore in turn affect Bitcoin, okay? So really, really important that we pay attention to that. Another bit of worrying news I was looking at here, that just here on a Sunday as I'm flicking through the news, was this. China's factory activity contracts unexpectedly in July as COVID flares up. So again, I mean, they still can't get to the bottom of this. It's still causing factory issues, and that's what's going to continue to put supply chain bottlenecks for the US and Western companies, and therefore create that long-term inflation, which we do not want. Remember, we need the future CPI readings to come down. If they don't come down, Jerome Powell's going to struggle to loosen the interest rate policy, okay? So that's really important that we see this come down, and we do want to see that start to rotate to the downside. Also, just wanted to share with you this pattern here on the Bitcoin chart. If I head on over to the hourly and I remove the EMA ribbon, what I wanted to show you here was that we are still forming this bull flag, okay? So we still are playing this bull flag out with a price target of 27,000 on this bull flag. Yes, the steam has been lost here over the weekend, but can this continue to play out towards our target of 27,000? That's what we're looking out for on this break. Remember, longer term on Bitcoin, what move are we trying to capture? For those who still aren't familiar, we're trying to capture a relief rally up towards the EMA ribbon. That's what I'm looking for here. I'm not saying that suddenly we're going to start going back hugely high on Bitcoin, back to 69,000. No. What I'm trying to play for is, can we break through 24,000 and can we get a relief rally, which is a nice tradable rally up towards 29-30K region? That's what I'm looking for here on Bitcoin, but whilst keeping one eye on lower price points, maybe in the future here on Bitcoin. Let's take a quick look at Fantom, because Fantom is up 3.3% here today. Really powerful day. I think what's interesting with Fantom is, again, just that relative strength, right? You've heard me speak about this a few times on Fantom, and it's just had a good couple of weeks here, similar to Bitcoin, following the path here. Although this week, it's not had as strong a week as Bitcoin, right? It's finishing the week off here in the red, 13 hours before this weekly candle closes, and it looks like Fantom may just try to close that in the red. I mean, it's up 3% as we speak on the day, but can it finish this candle in the green like Bitcoin? But more importantly, you are seeing you still continue to be above your on the inside of your broadening rising wedge, which is good, but it didn't, and this is the important point I want to share with you guys, it didn't post that higher high. Remember I showed you on Bitcoin it posted that higher high? Fantom was unable to. Even when Bitcoin ran, Fantom wasn't following it yesterday, okay? So where Fantom's higher high peaked here at 36.8 cents, it didn't come back up to create that higher high. So we do have our higher lows here, but we've not matched up with the higher highs. So that's just a point of concern here in the short, immediate term here on Fantom. On the 4-hourly, it's got support from its EMA ribbon here on the 4-hourly. Let's take a look at the daily as well. And yep, it's still above its EMA ribbon here on the daily. So technicals are looking okay. Again, these altcoins are just going to rely on Bitcoin to open up green on Monday as the markets open up. And it's, again, going to depend on the markets. Can the markets open up tomorrow rallying in green? We're going to look at the pre-market data first thing in the morning. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you got notification bell on. Even though YouTube sometimes do not alert, make sure you're in the Discord. Make sure you're in the Telegram. Free alerts all in there to make sure you don't miss a single video and you get it in a timely fashion, because all of these videos need to come out and you guys need to see it in a timely manner. Guys, don't forget to smash on the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. As always, check out this video here and I'll see you in the next one.